because, like me, you're a mid to high handicap golfer looking for a way to simplify his swing or make his game more consistent. That's what I did when I found this video on YouTube called The Easiest Swing in Golf. The gentleman you see here doing this very simple, kind of silly looking move is a gentleman named Mr. Brian Sparks. He wrote a book called Positive Impact Golf. I'm going to review that book, his teaching method, as well as his ability to provide online lessons. As I pause this, you might wonder, what are my qualifications to provide a review on a golf instruction book? Well, let me just pan around. What you're looking at here is just a small sample of all the golf books I've ever read. None of them have done much to improve my game. I've read them all. David Ledbetter, Jim McLean, Butch Harmon, Hank Haney, Golf Like Tiger Woods, Golf Like Anakin Sorenstam, Golf Like Ernie Els, Golf Like Nick Faldo, all of them. The PGA Tour Manual, Idiot's School for Short Game, you name it. I've probably read it, bought it, borrowed it, whatever. And none of those books have done more to improve my game, make it more consistent, easier, to allow a more enjoyable round of golf than this book here, Positive Impact Golf. How can you hit with any distance with a swing like this? I'll just fast forward here till it gets to a longer club. And what I noticed is at the bottom of his swing, in fact in his book he talks about this, he uses the word impetus. I love that. It's my favorite word in the entire book. Yes, I have one word in the book that's my favorite, impetus. He says at the bottom of the swing there has to be a little impetus to the swing, and whack. That golf ball will go plenty far without any effort. Okay, Brian's book focuses on 6 fundamentals of the golf swing. For me, there was one that really helped my game more than anything. But to understand how good his points are, you have to understand kind of what your standard thoughts are in the golf swing. For any of you who have ever read a golf instruction book, you've probably seen this drill. It's a turning drill. And standard golf instruction would tell you, as you do the backswing, you get turned behind the ball. See how my lead foot is still on the ground? And this allows a proper full turn and makes my shoulders wind up more than my hips. That allows me to generate power. From here, there'd be a little bump with the hip back towards the target, an unwinding of the hips, and then a firing into a full finish. And I can tell you, being short, fat, and over 40, this is painful. That hurts. Brian's swing, if you remember from the earlier part of this video, is to allow for movement. It's all based on movement. Don't worry about your feet. Don't worry about your head. Just simply turn. Look how my foot comes up on my ground, off the ground. My head's moved quite a bit, and I turn back through. And this is the core of the golf swing, right here. So simple. You're getting weight shift, just like this drill. Here, I'm getting weight shift, but I'm not putting any stress on my back. And then there's a waist shift and forward. Watch my head. As I turn, you'll see there's quite a bit of movement from the center. There's no focus on keeping that head perfectly still. So then you simply take the club and it's that simple. Now I'm going to give you a down the line view. For those of you who've read a bunch of instruction books like me, you would take a stance something like this. You could take your club, hold it on the back of your shoulder. It should hit your knee and go down to the balls of your feet. Then from there on your takeaway, you take the club straight back, keep the club head outside of your hands. You'd start to cock your wrists at this point. See how my hands are in front of my chest? That's a nice position there. If you're a David Ledbetter guy, this club shaft would point somewhere between your feet and the target line. If you're a Hank Haney guy, the club would be pointing outside the target line, parallel to the initial shaft at setup. All this you can forget with the Brian Sparks method, the positive impact method. Anyways, so back from here, you'd finish your turn. There's that little bump that I showed you earlier. Your hands would drop. You'd come from the inside. You turn into the ball.
and you hit the ball. And I suppose when I do that real slow, that doesn't look too bad in terms of technique. Now, I'm not a very good golfer, but I expect that's probably pretty close. But what I always want to do, what feels more natural to me, I always just want to take the club here. Instead of out here and up, it just feels, I like it here. Brian doesn't focus too much on where your club is. He's more focused on those basics, movement, weight shift, rhythm, those sorts of things. And then from there, I kind of have a late wrist cock. I just kind of let the weight of the club, do it on its own. And when I tried to do the traditional swing, I'd get away from this. I just naturally, under pressure, when you start to feel nervous, you kind of go to what feels comfortable, not necessarily what's right. I'd tighten up, I'd come to the inside, and then I'd lead with the hips. I'd come over the top, and bam. I'd either hit a pull, or I'd hit a big slice, or worse yet, what was a game killer was the old S word, the shank. That's been a problem in my game. I'll be rolling along, shooting well, and that shank will come in, triple bogey. Unbelievable. Now, I can't say with Brian's method I haven't hit bad shots. You will continue to hit bad shots. But I think what you'll find is you'll be more relaxed playing golf, and you'll hit less bad shots. I found that my golf game is now able to travel. I played fairly easy courses, fairly wide open. I could spray the ball off the tee 3 fairways over, hit a ball back somewhere up by the green, pitch it on, 2-putt for a bogey, maybe get lucky and get a par, and I'd always be shooting around, bogey golf. And now I'm shooting close to 80 most of the times I'm playing, and occasionally in the 70s as well. And I found my game could travel. I recently played a very difficult course, sloped 130 or more from the blue tees, and I shot an 84 in a member guest tournament. That was a great round, and I felt very relaxed. I enjoyed it. And so all I'm focusing on is that movement. I'm not worried too much about my wrists, I'm not worried too much about my arms, and I just go ahead and hit the ball. You don't know what a joy that is, to just be able to do that. But what he will do is when you send him a video of your swing, he will challenge you. He will ask you questions. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? And you'll respond, because that's what I was told. I was told to keep my head still. On my short game, he asked me one time, why are my feet so close together? And why are they angled off to the left of the target line? And when I hit the chip shot, why does my head stay down like this? I said, well, because when I read Tom Watson's short game book and Dave Pelz's short game book, I'm to the left because I'm presetting the hips to release, and my feet are together to keep the bottom of the swing in a very small place, ensuring contact and so forth, and I keep my head down so I don't lift up. And now, the way I'm doing my short game, if you remember my little pitch shot, I line up square. I simply turn and turn with impetus at the bottom. So he will challenge you on your beliefs, but don't be confused. I've had a golf lesson here and there, and when he challenges you and questions you, it's not because he doesn't know where he's trying to get you. He's asking you those questions because he wants you to find it yourself. If he leads you to the answer, you're more likely, and you feel like you found it, you're more likely to own it. Anyways, the weakness of his book is because it focuses on movement. He's got pictures in the book, but it's hard to see. So I'm glad that you found this video today, or you found Brian's video, more importantly, Easiest Swing in Golf, so that you can see it. Then when you order the book, and I highly recommend that you do, you'll understand it. And then once you do that, I'd highly encourage you to contact Brian and do like I did and take a couple of lessons. You send him a video, he sends you a video, sends you an email, whatever it might be. Easiest swing in golf. That was the best one yet. Thanks for watching.